Coming up tonight on YCU News, Vermont Yankee nuclear plant to close down. Police in Sunapee seek information about the vandalism of 2 wooden boats. For more local news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCU, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth-Lake Sunapee region and central Vermont. News, sports, weather, public affairs, and all that's happening in our area. The news on YCU, your local view.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for this Tuesday edition of YCU News. I'm Ashley Perkins. Vermont's only nuclear power plant is closing. Vermont's Yankee owners, the New Orleans-based Energy, announced this morning that the 40-year-old plant would be taken out of service or decommissioned by the end of 2014. The Federal Nuclear Regulatory Commission will oversee the closure. Today's news comes about 2 weeks after a federal ruling concerning Vermont Yankee. A federal judge ruled last week against the state's attempts to shut down the plant. Closing the plant for safety concerns is the federal court's role, not the state's. The court ruled. Entergy had asked that its license be extended another 20 years. The Vermont State Utility Board was expected to rule on extending this license before year's end. U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders says the closure is good news for Vermont's future. Providing Vermonters with reliable and sustainable energy options will boost state's image and economic future, says Sanders. Vermont Yankee supplies the state with about a third of its energy needs. While today's closure may seem sudden, says New Hampshire Governor Maggie Hassan, earlier talks between the twin states will help ease the transition. Ensure the lights stay on to meet people's heating and lighting needs is key, she says. Now is the time for federal and New England leaders to determine how to best meet the region's electrical needs. Doing so in the most earth-friendly and money-saving way is the challenge. Hassan also says the state will do what it can to help Vermont Yankee workers find new jobs. There are currently 218 employees there. Police in Sunapee seek information about the vandalism of 2 wooden boats. Police Chief David Canel says the plug on one boat was deliberately pulled out. The boat sank in water off Sunapee Harbor about 2 weeks ago. Another wooden boat also sank. However, Cahill says the second boat's age and condition may have been a factor in its sinking. The public is asked to call Sunapee Police at 603-763-5555. In other Sunapee news, the town's select board will vote on September 3rd about a land purchase. The board is moving towards purchasing about 136 acres of pristine land for conservation. The town's conservation board has about $250,000 set aside for the purchase. The land is known as Weldon Marsh North. This undeveloped land lies near the southern tip of Perkins Pond. The final purchase price is expected to be $300,000. Local veterinarian Jolyn Johnson bought the land in 2012 to save it from development. Road repair in Lebanon after last month's heavy rainstorms continues. Earlier today, city public worker crews patched Slayton Hill Road through Mechanic Street. One lane of traffic on Slayton Hill Road was closed. Repairs are expected to continue through September, city leaders say. State and federal emergency aid will help the city meet these costs. Thank you for joining us for this Tuesday edition of YCU News. Be sure to tune in tomorrow's edition to hear from representative of the Enfield Village Association and learn about Mainstream Bookends. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at YCU Now for all the latest weather forecasts and stories. And you can watch our programs anytime online at www.ycunow.com. I'm Ashley Perkins for YCU, your local view. Good night.